Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Dreams and Day Jobs podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Travis, with my guy right here.
You already know, I'm Jeff.
Bro, listen.
I gotta come up with something better.
Nah, bro,
it's just like short. What's up? I'm Jeff.
The Italian stallion, the one who's about that action.
Right.
How you want a ring entrance or whatever you want to do, right?
I guess that's just me though. Whatever. I'm Jeff. That's it.
So we are so happy today and blessed because we have our second guest, and I don't know, man. Don't you wish just sometimes you could just, anything that was going to get in your way of your dreams, you could just hit it with the fatality?
Yeah, I
just feel like you want to just finish him.
I do.
Right? You take anything negative, anybody trying to talk against you, even the negative thoughts that are in your head, you wish you could just hit it with a fatality, right?
Fatality.
Well, this is exactly what our guest has done, because ever since 5 years old, he had the spunk and the urge to pursue gaming. And now he's 25 years old and he's ranked #1 in Mortal Kombat. And he's got a bright future. Everything about him when we met, positive, constantly working a day job, grinding. But when that thing is over, the other grind starts. So we want to introduce you guys to our host. Our host. We the host, but our second guest. We call him SJ, but his name is Shalont Dixon. Welcome, brother.
What up, man? Appreciate y'all. First of all, it's definitely been a long time coming for sure. Like I said, man. Well, like you said, bro. But yeah, thank y'all for having me, man. Yeah, I'm so excited, so excited. It's been a long time coming, like Travis said, man. And yeah, man, like you said, 5 years old, playing video games. Dude, like, I remember my mom got me, like, Tekken 1 on the PlayStation 1, dude. And, like, Tekken, yeah, that's one of my favorite fighting games as well, too. But then, you know, she picked up Tekken, Mortal Kombat, and ever since like 5 years old, dude, on the PlayStation 1, just button mashing, not know what I'm doing. And then it kind of just stuck with me on to like now, man, like legit now. I still play, I still train, I still do it all.
So let's just back it up real quick.
Yeah, please.
So we're talking about gaming now. So you said ranked #1. So yes. I'm new. I haven't heard really much of your story up until a couple minutes ago, but in terms of the gaming, so people know you're ranked #1 in...
Yes, in Mortal Kombat in this state of Connecticut. Yes, sir. In the state of Connecticut, #1. That's only because all the last, let's say, for this current game that we have, the 6 state tournaments that they have, no one has beaten me. Damn. At all. I've become first place in every single one of them. I'm actually going to be defending the title coming up in September. I'm going to be making my, return back to the tournament scene, just, taking a break from a little bit to really, defend my title. And
are you nervous?
Never. I'm this confident because I feel like, I played for so long. I've had so much experience. Some of these guys still, get on the sticks. With like a veteran like me, they're still a little shaky and all this stuff. But, I have the right mindset. I'm not nervous on anybody in this state at all.
So are you playing... So like, are you playing every day? Like, are you practicing?
So like, I try to get a good amount of practice in every day. I try to whenever I'm not doing the managing stuff on the side. When I'm not doing that, yeah, I hop on the game. I sit in practice mode, hit my little B&B combos, go into lab scenarios, go in scenarios where I've died at, where I got getting killed at. And I review it, I study it. I'm like, okay, now I know what to do in this situation. So when this situation happens again against this character, I know what to do.
That's dope.
I just think it's wild. So from 5 years old to 25, that's a long time to stick with something that you started so young. Before that, I was in gymnastics young. I did gymnastics competitively. I played football, I played basketball. All those things fell out until I ended up where I'm at with the arts of music and film. So how did that, one of my questions is, from a young age, when did that vision spark to know? Because you were playing before gaming was a profession. And, it was most time looked at as stop wasting your time playing video games.
Yo, man, wow.
Through that?
Yo, man, so let me tell you, when it was a little bit more of on a darker scale, because growing up, I didn't really have a lot of friends. That's #1 as well, too. So I kind of used that as a coping mechanism for my severe depression I had at the time. And I would use that to cope and stay inside. I wasn't really going outside much. I really was an outside kid. So I was always indoors playing the game. I would say when I got to high school is when I kind of flipped that around and started, reaching out to people more, trying to make more friends more. But I also was still playing the game on the side. When I was 16, I learned, officially learned how to play, the game itself. So how the game operates, it has like, it's all operated under frame data and numbers. So I studied all the numbers, studied all the frame data for each and every character, each and every like stage interaction, every single thing. And I clicked it and I understood it. So from that point on, I just kept evolutioning. I just kept getting better, kept getting better. So when I went to my first tournament when I was 18 years old, my mom took me for my 18th birthday to Chicago to the one of the biggest fighting game tournaments ever called Kombat. And I did pretty good. I went 4-2, made it to the loser side of my pool, and I almost made it out and got 49th place out of like 300 people. That was my very first tournament.
So I'm just thinking of like, you know, because we're a little bit older than you. So like, I'm thinking back to like when I was a kid. Like if I was like, Ma, like I need you to take me to a video game tournament. Like what? Yeah, she'd be like, what?
Like she was just like, what is this?
So my point was is that like for her to, she must have, like she obviously had to have taken notice of like, okay, like, you know. You're passionate. Oh, yeah. You spend mad time doing it, like you.
And she always like, you know, she always saw me like on the game, like always on the time too. And then like when I showed her what it was and she came with me and she saw how huge it was, she couldn't believe her eyes. Like her eyes lit up. Like she was just like, wow, this is like something so unbelievable. Like that I would have thought of. Like people are traveling to these events over fighting games. Yeah. And it's like, it's a huge community. Like,
so she almost didn't realize like the context of what you were doing until she saw it. It's real quick. It's funny because I played in a band for years, like as growing up, and so I would always be like, "Mom, I'm going to band practice. Mom, I'm going to band practice every Tuesday, Thursday, or Monday, Thursday, whichever it was. Mom, I'm going to band practice." And she was like, "All right, cool. Like, all right." And you know what I mean? Not saying she didn't care. And then finally one day one of the first times she came to see us play at Toad's place, I think when she saw all the people and she heard us for the first time, then she was kind of like, "Wow, all those years, like you really were." Taking that shit seriously, like you really, you know what I mean? So not that she didn't support it or anything. I'm just saying it was like a realization of like, oh, okay, yeah, you know. So she probably had that same thing, you know.
She had the same thing, like I said, her eyes lit up, and then I think ever since that moment where she saw me, like you know, in my glory, like in like where I'm the most passionate at, she kind of just stuck with it and always supported it from then. And like even now today, like, you know, where the position I am now with like the whole fighting game community and what I do now for like certain teams.
So you also manage just so for the context of like, so people understand, like you manage a team of players. Yes. Mortal Kombat players.
Team of killers.
Team of killers. Oh yeah. First of all, shout out S-Tier Gaming. That's my sponsorship. Definitely got to shout out S-Tier Gaming. But yeah. I help manage a esports organization founded and owned by Mr. Leo Kim, and he's been one of the greatest, like I would say, like influencers I've ever like spoke to in my life. Like just meeting him, like really opened my eyes on like what this is about, like what the whole community is about, and like I took so much inspiration from him, and I was like, dude, I want to do this. I want to do this for the rest of my life. I want to do this, and I want to be successful off it. This is the dream. This is the formula right here.
So do you feel like, okay, so, you know, we've talked about this before. Sometimes I think the hardest thing and the hardest part of achieving a goal or going in the direction is figuring out what the goal is and figuring out like, okay, do I want to go this direction? Is this really what I want? Or is this what I want? You know what I mean? So my question is that, did you and do you know now? Do you have like a clear vision of like what you're trying to do when it comes to gaming? Like,
I really do.
Is that? Like, what is the end goal? Like,
I think my clear vision and like what I really want for this is that I want to show players that they can be the best in the world if they work hard for it, and I want to support those players that want to do it. I want to send them to these tournaments. I want to provide for them. I want to sponsor them as well too, and I want to have the same type of organization like Mr. Kim has, like how he has. And I really want to work with him. And I really want this team to like evolution-wise and send more of the best talent that we have and recruit more players and recruit more of these people that want to have the same dream like I did and like I still do right now. Because honestly, to God, like, dude, nothing can beat like having the same people with the same type of goals and like who are happy from the same type of passions that you have.
That's why we kick it, man. That's why we started this. That's why we
connected. For real. That's why we all connected, because
if you guys work together on that. There's no way in hell you guys are not going to flip it. There's no way. It's not going to be successful, especially you guys work hard on it too. And like, you know, I want to work hard with this guy because I see his vision, and like it's the same vision that I saw when I first got it. And like now that like I have achieved what I want to achieve inside the community, and all I want to do now is give back. And this is the way I want to give back, is to this person, this team. And I really want to work with him on it.
See, it's so cool how I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's so cool how everything goes full circle nowadays. You know, you start off documenting as a documentation stage. You're growing, you're learning, you're finding your path, you're greasing the wheels, you're practicing every day until all of a sudden you reach that achievement that you're looking for. And now you become an authoritative state on that topic, and you want to instantly make other people give them that authority, power, that support, that passion, and that hope most of all, and that vision. Because like you said, until I got to that gaming arena and saw it all in full picture and saw what it takes to be involved in it, it even sparked even more flame inside you to say, man, I knew the possibility was already there because I had been playing and pursuing this for a long time. But now that I'm actually in it, I could really see a future in it.
Dude, you know what's so funny? I said this to me, like I just came back from Las Vegas from the biggest fighting game major that there is. It's called Evolution. And I was just saying to myself, like the people who I hang around with right now, and by doing this, I was watching these same people on my TV screen at 16, dude.
That's crazy.
I swear to God, I'm taking so much inspiration. And now I'm literally in the community, hanging out with these people, going to like, meetings with these people, hanging out, discussing ideas. Like it's actually crazy how surreal it is now. Like I was over here watching you guys in tournaments when I was 16. Now I'm literally binging, dude. Wanted to be like y'all in y'all's shoes. Now I was in y'all's shoes, got to the place where I wanted to be, got the success, got my brand, got my name out, and now I'm giving back.
Dude, that is just what it's all about.
Yeah.
When we look at everybody who's successful online, they're all in coaching. Because at one point, unless I'm selling a digital product or a product itself, it's coaching. I want to be around the community of people who are like-minded, because those are my audience and potentially future customers, and more like high level, they call it high ticket, you know, because it's obviously a higher price because of what you're getting. You're getting that support, that community, that guidance, and they're speed ramping the whole process to get them where you were.
That's what it's all about too, man. Yeah. That's literally what's all about too. Like you said, it just comes back in full circle. And once you see that, I feel like it gives anybody more motivation to keep going harder and keep going harder and keep influencing people that want to do the same. Like me, how we influence each other. Yeah. How, like you said, we clicked off, like, you know, just the vibes itself. And like I said, this was like a long time coming. Yeah. Like even when I first met you guys, like chemistry off the bat. I feel like it was more of God's timing as well too.
100%. It's always God's timing, guys. Don't forget that part. It's always God's timing. Context, if you guys are following, you already know, Jeff and I work landscaping. Jeff has been working in my family landscaping business for, what, 6 years almost now? 6 years now. Now he's 1 day a week with us on Wednesdays. And I used to run into SJ all the time through you know, just passing, say what's up. And he always had this positive energy. I'm talking like my man is grinding, you know. Let's not forget to mention.
Yeah, we didn't even mention that.
He also works for FedEx.
Truck driving every single day, sir.
Every day, grinding. Doesn't matter the weather. And his attitude is, I've never seen him down. And that's something for me personally I look forward to, because I'm like that. I'm a born optimist, so I'm always trying to be. I have my bad days
as well too. Like I never seen you in the bad attitude. Never seen you in a gloomy state as well. You're always so positive. You're always so hardworking. You always.
I've never seen you in a gloomy, and we've been boys. Like I've never seen you.
I have them like we all do.
I'm sure you do, but
it's
I
like
just
when we
never.
go out and we step out of that front door in the morning, I'm thinking, yo, listen, everybody else probably got gloomy too. Are we gonna all sulk and hone in on it together and share our problems and complain and get no solutions? Or am I going to choose to be the born optimist and through their negativity see something positive in it? And that just allows me to see my life in that same light. And I feel like that's only God-given, because God's the only one who can give you joy. Yeah. You know, happiness is conditional. It's fleeting. It's going away. I'm happy today. I'm shooting the podcast. I got a good day. What happens when the bad day comes? You remember that you have hope in God, and that keeps you joyful, even in the midst of turmoil. And that's something I wanted to ask you about, because we were talking about it before. When did that gloominess and dark time of your life start, and what got you through that? Maybe like bring us back to that point, because I feel like a lot of people who want to do what you do, and maybe in just a different sector, but specifically do what you do, are maybe in that same spot. So you want to talk about that?
Definitely. I would say, like, a dark time in my life, like that gloomy state, like, you know, that severe depression state was definitely when I was in middle school, for sure. I didn't, like I said, I didn't grow up with a lot of friends. I went to a very, very, like, it was a nice middle school, but it had a lot of bullying. Just say, like, it was a lot of bullying, it was a lot of unfairness going on, and I was severely bullied. I would say up to, when my best friend left, my best friend in 3rd grade left, from right there all until 8th grade, I promise you. And I feel like I was severely bullied. I didn't really have a lot of friends, a lot alone. And what kind of got me out that dark stage was like the video games. Like, honestly, like I used it as a coping, but also at the time, you know, online gaming was coming up, and I had online friends as well too. And you know, we would always come home, hop on the game, talk about our days in school and all the other stuff. You know, I would send their events to them because I didn't even vent to my mom back then about like severe bullying I had. I was always vent to them, and you know, they would always give me advice. They would always tell me to stick through it and all the other stuff. And
That's pretty cool, man.
You experienced that?
I did a little bit, but I just think that, I mean, I had friends, you know, but I mean, I just think it's cool that you were able to find, at a young age, dude, I didn't really have, the fact that you were able to find other kids that like didn't even know you, and they were just like, yo, like sometimes it's like the people that don't know you that like, it's nice to hear like a stranger.
Yeah, and at the time it was so nice to hear. Like, it was very nice to hear, because like I said, I was very alone at the time. I think when I hit 8th grade and I finally graduated like middle school and all that stuff, and you know, I was going to high school. It's just like, you know what, I'm gonna switch my life around. I'm 15. I don't want to be alone no more. I want friends. I want to have a normal teenage life like everyone was having. I'm going to switch my life around. And that's what I really did. I went into my freshman year of high school. I was like, I'm going to start with a positive new attitude. I'm going to be this person that I always wanted to be. I'm not going to let nobody judge me. I'm going to really be myself. And I started to be myself. And I started making friends like in high school. And I think at that time, I was pulling myself out that dark, gloomy place. And it really like took effect when I started being happy, was where I learned about like all these tournaments and all these events for like, you know, Mortal Kombat and like the fighting games and stuff. And I learned about the community, and I wanted to join the community. And it really all happened when I met my first Mortal Kombat friend. His name's Samuel. Shout out Samuel Mejias. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I got to give you a call soon. Yes, sir. And he taught me how to play the entire game. Me and him were the same age, and he taught me how to play the entire like game from top to bottom. He taught me how to understand it, taught me all the numbers, the frame data, the terms, every single thing. And when it finally clicked to me, dude, when I tell you my brain exploded, like I was like, oh man, I can't believe like this is fun. But this is also educating at the same time. It's like a lot of like knowledge base, a lot of skills, a lot of everything.
Yeah, can I stop you right there? I'm curious, like I played Mortal Kombat and I played video games when I was a kid. I was a gamer when I was a kid for sure.
Hard, man.
But I never heard anybody talk about like
Professional
data and framework. Like, what does that mean? Like,
dude, so if you like
you're breaking the video game down like mathematically?
Yeah, so like if you go inside Mortal Kombat, like you go in like the newest Mortal Kombat, there's something called frame data. And any modern fighting game today has frame data. Every single modern fighting game has something called frame data. Okay. So you have to sit there and you have to study the frame data for every single character. There's things like, you know, how fast a move starts up, how fast it recovers on block, how fast is the speed animation, how fast is everything. So you got to really take all that knowledge down, memorize it for all these characters, and use the right moves in your list to see like, okay, is this a good move to use? Or if I use this move, is the other person going to get a free counter? So it's a lot of like numbers. And when you plug in the numbers and use it while you're playing, it's a lot of remembering. It's a lot of fast paced like action.
It's all reactive.
It's all, yeah. It's really all reactive.
So you get that data, because I'm listening to it. I'm like, if I knew Scorpions, you know, come over here, takes like 1.5 seconds.
Isn't that Sub-Zero?
No, that's Scorpion.
That's Scorpion. That's Scorpion.
Shit.
I know my Mortal Kombat. I know my Mortal Kombat. That was my game, bro. I watched the original movie thousands of times, bro. I still got the VHS, bro. I was obsessed with that game. I was actually so mad that I sucked at that game. I used to be the one to turn on the one-button combos. Just annihilate people throughout the game. You know,
modern fighting games, they actually still have that.
They still got the it's crazy. It's so much more impressive to know, like, you know, I still remember down forward, either it's square or circle, which is Sub-Zero's freeze me.
The same inputs. Yeah, it's still the same inputs today.
Favorite character? Like, who do you play with? Who do you play with the most? Like,
hold on, let me try to guess it. For Mortal Kombat, I get 3 guesses.
Okay, cool.
Raiden,
No.
Okay. And this is more, okay, hold on. Is it in the traditional 12? Or I think.
Yeah, one of them, well, two of them are.
I mean, I'm going to go really left here because I don't think you would use this, but Kano?
That's a good guess, but no.
All right, now I got the Scorpion.
Nah, yeah, you're all wrong.
Hold on. Liu Kang?
Yeah, one of them, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
What would you say?
What's number one?
All right, number one's actually a chick. She's from the Mortal Kombat X game. Her name's Jackie Briggs. It's Jax's daughter.
Jax's daughter.
Jackie Briggs. Dude, like, she's so swaggy. Like, she's so like, dog, she beats your ass and like she talks shit and it's insane. And I'm like, oh, like I fell in love with the character. I'm like, yeah, I like this character. You're a female version of Jax? Yeah, I got that. I got that. Like the.
I hated how slow he was.
And second is Kung Lao for sure.
Kung Lao.
Kung Lao for sure, without a doubt.
Oh, dude. Wow. So Liu Kang, Kung Lao, the two.
Question is, if you gave me like a full, maybe not straight, but like a full like 48 hours of playing the game, like could I take you? Or you think you're still taking me in Mortal Kombat? If I like.
Oh, I bet $1 million on me. Yeah. If I bet $1 million on me.
You might not get a hit in, bro.
Liu Kang? I don't know.
Nah, man.
No way. I think you honestly might not get a hit, bro. When people are that nice, bro, they play with you. Like you can't. They know.
He's low-key right. Like,
not gonna let you get a hit. You know, if you get a hit.
I'm not saying you won't. I'm just asking.
I know I'm getting annihilated, Jevin. I know you don't play no games. I know you get annihilated, man. So listen, because I want to jump back to a point that I thought was so special. When you went into high school, and you said, "I'm gonna change my life." Walk us through that moment, because when you said that, I'm thinking of someone day one of school, like, you know, how people cut their hair, change their whole look in the mirror, talk to themselves, and really embody that. Because listen, I'm doing that now, at 30, gonna be 36. And I feel like I've done that ever since I was 26 years old. So I've had a 10-year gap of like constantly telling myself and figuring out who I am and battling with things. That makes it so unique. But you at 16 years old and figuring that out, that's just mind blowing to me. So you got to tell me what that day looked like.
Dude, I remember that day, like, I kind of dressed like how I wanted to dress as well too. And it's like, I didn't really let nobody judge me. And like, number one, I had like a Captain America shirt on. I had like Captain American socks to match it. I had like a cool little bucket hat. I was like, you know, I think I look good. You know, I'm going to dress myself the way how I like to dress. I'm going to go in. I'm going to smile, because I used to never smile. And like my mom told me, you have a nice smile. You're smiling all the time. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go in. I'm going to smile. I'm going to try to talk to people. And I was always a shy kid, like in middle school, because of where the surrounding area that I was in, where I was shunned out to like the outcast. So it was just like, you know, don't really want to go and talk to people. Dude, I went in the first day and made 3 friends. I was so happy. Like, I was like, wow. I went in, talked to people. I made some friends. I didn't sit alone at a lunch table. Like, I was like, I'm going to go and change.
So you had to really get out of your comfort zone, which I feel like is an important point, you know?
I feel like that really like helped me with everything. Like from that moment on, like now it's like I don't have a problem talking to anybody. Like I can sit up here, I can have a conversation with anybody. I'm a very outgoing person. I'm a very people type person. I can talk to like random strangers. Like we see something, like we see like somebody trip and fall, we both laugh at it. Oh, you okay? You know, I can literally sit here and talk to anybody, and like I feel comfortable doing that too.
Have you always liked fashion and stuff? Like people don't know this dude's also a model too, like a signed model.
Also model, yes sir. Oh yeah, man.
You always into like, cause you got a unique look, you got a good look, you know, you got like that like street, like I see on Instagram, you got like that street style, like just like fashion, like, you know.
Yeah, man, I love fashion. And I really didn't get into fashion until lately though. Like I got into fashion about 3 years ago. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would say like from the age of like 20 to 21. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. This what really got into it. I started liking a really cute girl. I started liking a really cute girl, man. And she kind of made me want to step up on like, you know, my game a little bit, you know, to really get a sense of fashion a little bit. You know she is.
Yeah, so that step up part was already in you, but
yeah, man.
Her having to go get her and having to do the actions where it made you kind of step out in it. What were like a few things you had to do? What is a few things you switched up?
I had to like switch up my shoe taste a little bit. Like I had to switch up like, you know, I used to always wear sweatpants. I had to cut that out a little bit. I had to get some like nice jeans a little bit. kind of do more on the street look a little bit, and I kind of found like my style like inside the street look. But at the same time, I also incorporated like my own look because I love like emo stuff, like, you know, my hair color is black, and feel me? But I love like emo shit, like I love it. I like rock, I love like, oh man, I love Ozzy Osbourne, like it's one of my favorite people. I take inspiration from him. I kind of add my own like dark little twist. So like, you know, I don't know if you see some of my stuff, I have like leather jackets under like jeans and Jordans on, and like, you know, I like silver jewelry a lot too. And I kind of included like my own little punk style into like the street look, and I kind of found like my taste through that, and I kind of like that. Like, so I think that fits me more as well too.
That's dope. I kind of want to, really quick, I kind of wanted to just touch back on like the fact that you work a 9 to 5, you know?
I'm glad you brought back
just because like the, you know, the title of the podcast, Dreams and Day Jobs. So like when you know, a lot of people, and I've been there, I mean, shit, some days I feel like I'm still there. A lot of people go to a job. I take that back. I'm not really there I'm excelling. I'm not really as much there anymore. But a lot of people are at a job that like they just like can't stand, and you know, maybe they have no goal, or you know, it's just like, all right, I'm gonna, as Alex Hormozy says, I'm just gonna keep reliving the same 6 months over and over and over and over and over. So I guess like my question is, we always see you in what seems to be a positive mindset at work, but do you ever have those days where you're just like, damn, I hate this, like what, or like, and how do you kind of navigate that? Like, how do you navigate like through those moments when you're at your job and it just feels like, damn, like, am I ever gonna stop doing this? Am I ever gonna like, you know, can you talk about that a little bit?
Man, like I'd love to, dude. First and foremost, dude, like, yeah, like, I like my job's really nice. It's a good job. It pays me really well. Do I like it? More necessarily. But what really like puts me on with the job is it's the people that I have on my job, that I've met on my job, that kind of like wants me to keep going with it as well. And also that, you know, it really does fund what I really want to do as well too. So I take the motivation of like what I want to do and how my formula is planned out, and I use it to motivate me. I count up all my bad days. I tell this to anybody. I say, count up all your bad days, because you're gonna have that one good day that's gonna erase all the bad days that you have. And that one good day is gonna stick with you forever. It's gonna stick with you forever. One day you might go into work not feeling it, right? You know, you might have a flat tire one day on your truck, Travis. You know, the next single day you get that truck fixed, that tire fixed for free. Out of coincidence. You never know. Now that free tire stick with you forever, instead of just coming out of your pocket with money. Or with me, you know, I go through, I have a crappy load, I got boxes everywhere, whatever. I come into the next day, same crappy load, but I get tipped $100 from a person. And that $100 sticks with me, and it makes me better. And now my day is completely better.
So it's almost like there's no highs without lows. So it's like you almost have to have there's no light without dark kind of thing. You know?
Literally, you cannot have light without dark.
Yeah.
You cannot. And you know what's so funny thing? Can I bring this up too? Speaking about light and dark, how I live my life is more like a yin yang. Like I like to live life like on a yin and a yang. I feel like everybody should have a yin and a yang. Everyone should have their light and everyone should have their dark. Their dark is always for the certain good of themselves though. It's not a selfish dark place of your mind and state of mind and heart. It's more of like what can that dark that you can use to better yourself and have that light to better you and everyone around you. So whenever you feel like you're out of light, you use that dark with you to rebuild that light. Because you can't have dark without light, you can have light without dark.
It's perspective.
Yeah.
And that's so true. Yeah. That's so true. And I love where you're taking it. I just got reminded this week about, I gave the example of electric bill. So when the electric bill comes in, instead of cursing it, why don't you say, wow, I'm so grateful that I get to pay this electric bill. I'm grateful that I have electricity. I'm grateful that what electricity does for me. And now when you're using that, and it was an affirmation thing on money, and it's talking about how money reacts to the way you react to it. And it's that perspective, and it's the same thing you're talking about with dark and light.
I just feel like everything should be on the light and dark. Like I feel like that's how I live my whole life. And I feel like without dark you can have light. And that's what I've always lived my life on. Especially at the moment where like I kind of knew where I had to step up and grow up earlier. So like I like to talk about that a little bit too. Like the moment where I had to like step up and like be a man. Like, like I said, I didn't really like grow up without a father. I did. But, you know, my father went apeshit cuckoo. Like, he got into the streets and drugs. He, you know, he was a really good man. He was an architect. He was building houses. He had a family. He was doing amazing. But, you know, he got invested into the streets, the drugs, and it kind of turned into the wrong direction. Now, don't know what he's doing right now. I pray for that man gets better. Would love to help him, but, you know, without the help of yourself, I can't help you. So I pray that that man gets, you know, better to help. But, yeah, of course. But at that moment, at like, you know, 15, I knew that, you know, I had to step up for my own self as well, too. I couldn't be, you know, asking my mom for everything. And I really didn't want to do that only because, like, the sole purpose that at the time, you know, she wanted to buy a house. I've seen that woman cry and struggle trying to buy a house. And, like, it got to the point, it's like, okay, now I want to take up a job to, like, you know, help you now. I want to do this to, you know, fund it. I want to do this. So I had to like step up on my own to take care of myself at a very young age. And from 15 years old, I've always had a job. I told you that my grandfather, before he passed away at 68, he opened his first car wash business. That was my first job with him. And I was getting paid the lousy tips for him, but every single tip was going to me. Like the tip jar that people would put all the money in for every single week, that was mine. So that was like my way of like making my money. So from that on, from having that little bit of money, like just from seeing from tips throughout a week, it just encouraged me and inspired me even more. My next job, I was another certified car wash at a Splash. And then I started working at a Taco Bell. And I went to a warehouse, and I went to a grocery store. And then now I'm truck driving for FedEx. And if every single job that I've went to, I make sure I've kept because I've always pushed me into the right direction, like what I want to do. And now when I have a clear mind of my formula, my plan of like fighting games and the community that I want to build and the community that I want to be in and want to give back to, man, I'm so hungry. Like I'm very, very hungry. And like, I just don't stop, dude.
It's awesome to be hungry because, you know, we've talked about this before, dude. And I feel like I suffer with this. And, you know, remember how I said earlier, I was like, oh, I didn't have that kind of mindset shift until my 30s. And I think it's because I've been comfortable, dude. Like I've had, you know, a good life. I haven't really had to like really struggle or like really go through anything crazy, traumatic, you know what I mean? And which I'm grateful for. But at the other end of that too, it's almost kind of like when you're comfortable, it's hard to push yourself. It's hard to want to strive. It's hard to want more. It's hard because you're just good. You're just, you know, even if you're not, you know, just because someone's comfortable doesn't necessarily mean like everything's cool and they're happy. You know what I mean? So that comfort could be, while I'm grateful, it also was like, what's the word? It's almost like being in a cage. It can hold you back. Being comfortable can hold you back. You know what I mean? I'm definitely guilty of that.
You can also lose your sense of discipline as well, too.
Yeah.
It can also lose your sense of discipline. If you feel like you're too comfortable, and you don't feel like you have nothing less to offer, to show not just for yourself, but the world around you. Because I feel like, number one, everyone's watching. Number two, I feel like yourself is you. I feel like yourself is watching too, and your own mind's going to tell you whether you're going to be doing this or not, whether it's okay or not, whether it's, you know, good to pursue it or not. And I feel like once you've had that moment as like, okay, it's time for a shift, that's when everything goes. Your body, your mind, your faith, everything. And I feel like, you know, I feel like this one person that you need to keep that up to, and that's with God. I honestly, truly believe that. Like, that shift is all God. Like, you having that shift, you can have that shift yourself, but that is God telling you, like, yo, it is time.
He orchestrates it.
Orchestrates it. He orchestrates it. It's time for you to make this shift. It's time for you to do what is destined for you to do. And you need to see the plan that we have. And 9 times out of 10, once people see their own plan, they get a sense of what they want to do for life. They stick with it. Hungry.
That's where it comes from right there.
Also, too, and to go back with like having people around you, dude, it's easy. You know, I know for me, dude, it's way easier. Like if I'm feeling maybe the not the most motivated, or, you know, and then I'll just by chance I'll just end up hopping on the phone with him, and we end up talking for 30 minutes, and I'm just like, I get off the phone like, we're doing a podcast, like we're filming content, everything's cool, and you know we're striving for our goals, and then immediately I'm back up. So it's like having those people that like shit, you know, like that's awesome. Like,
man, listen, and that's ever since we met, SJ, and we always run into him. that's the feeling I get. That's the feeling.
Yeah, it's like
even if it's for a brief
positive
moment,
vibes, yeah.
it's just, it doesn't matter because it doesn't take a lot, especially from like something from a loving friend. One simple thing could just change your whole, like, be like, man, I saw the pic. Oh, you look great, man. It's just always a constant feedback of positivity to each other, and then constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Positive and constructive criticism. No,
It's so funny, and that's how I got into modeling. Like, honestly, like that's literally how I got into modeling. I wasn't a big picture person myself as well too. I just randomly took like a couple pictures with a homie that had like a camera in like Las Vegas for like, you know, our annual trip. And dude, I got so much positive feedback. I was like, dude, you should be a model. You should try going to this. You ever thought of being a face model, body model? I'm like, no, not at all. So like, at that moment, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try something new. I did another mock shoot at my house with another homie of mine. She did a phenomenal job. She edited them perfectly. I sent them to this agency in New York, which is the agency that I'm signed to now. It's called Map Studios in New York, in Manhattan. I went to them, got a shoot done with them. Dude, they loved me. They were like, yeah, this is meant for you. Like, the camera loves you. Like, this is all you. And I was just like, wow. I didn't think I liked this as well too. And at that moment where I saw those photos of myself was the moment I fell in love with the industry. But I already knew what was gonna come along with it. Like you said, a lot of criticism, a lot of feedback, a lot of every single thing. So I was willing to take all that on. I was willing to do it all. I was willing to like push myself to take all the criticism because of, you know, what I've been through. And like I said, I was severely bullied, and it was really bullied because like looks-wise. Yeah, dude, point blank, I didn't have a lot of confidence growing up at all. Like, I didn't have zero self-esteem, I had zero confidence. I didn't like the way how my body looked, my face looked. I didn't think I was like, you know, this handsome. And then, dude, like, I got older, I started freshening myself up, I started taking care of myself, and I got the self-esteem that I have now. I have the confidence that I have now. And honestly, I'm so genuinely blessed, dude. Like, I'm so blessed. And like modeling really helped that as well too, because now I see myself in a different way that I never thought I was. And it all came back from the criticism, like you said, the criticism, the feedback, the everything, like you said. And like, just so rejoiced and so grateful for it.
it's so wild how that comes from, it's so crazy to think, but really the bullying, because it made you feel, you know, not love yourself. And then from there, it's like they say, one kid drinks because his father drank. One kid doesn't drink because his father drank. They still have the same outcome, same driving force, but they choose different paths. And that's why I just think it's amazing to choose that path at 15, 16 years old, going through being bullied and then honing in on like, yo, forget this, forget what they talking about. I'm about to love myself. I'm going to treat myself right, and I'm going to be the person that I want to be.
Oh, man.
And man, I just think that is so powerful, especially for our audience here, because listen, I think one way or the other, unless you're unemployed, you work in a 9-to-5. And if you work in that 9-to-5, maybe you have some side passions that could really turn into something that could really dramatically change your future. And that's why we started this podcast, to inspire and motivate people and spur them on their journey, to remember, obviously, God first. Talk to the main coach first. He'll give you direction, give you guidance. And then also love yourself, because he didn't create us all unique one-of-ones to hate ourselves. You know, we also didn't create each other to beat each other up. He says iron sharpens iron. So that's what we're here to do. We're here to sharpen each other so we could be the best that we could be, so we could help other people be the best that we could be. And if everyone did that, we'd have a much different world.
100%.
You know? I love that. I love that.
I just,
Go
sorry.
ahead,
No,
go ahead.
my
What you
bad.
got?
No, what you got?
Man, I said
Finish
I
up.
said-
No,
that was
you
it.
weren't done.
I was going to ask a question.
You weren't done.
I was going to ask a question.
I was too. But
So you go. I'll ask
You
questions.
sure?
next. Yeah.
I was just gonna ask quick. Did you get any pushback from like the gaming? Like, was your mom like all the way supportive with it, or did you get any like, because sometimes people try to pursue some stuff and, people are either like, oh, like you're doing that, like why are you doing that, or like, you know what I mean? It's just, and sometimes it can make it hard to, or like, did you have full from?
Oh man, I definitely got some like crazy feedback. Like I remember I lost a crazy good friend. Like me and her were like really, really great friends at one time, and she didn't see like why I was always so kept up in the house on video games, and she never really saw like, what I was doing with it. And then I remember we got into one crazy big argument. It was like the end of our friendship and whatever. And she said something so heinous. She was like, you're never gonna like, be nothing from if you're always in the house playing video games and all the other stuff. And I remember that stuck with me, like from that, I think it was like 18 at that point, and that stuck with me through all of it. You know what's so funny? This year, I actually ended up seeing this person, right? And this is how I knew, like, God works in mysterious ways. I ended up seeing this person, and, you know, we ended up reconnecting. You know, I don't look how I was when I was 18, so she didn't recognize me. She recognized me, and then she flabbergasted. And then she said something that was so, like, yeah, she saw me, and she was flabbergasted. Like, she was like, whoa.
I missed the bus.
I missed the bus. And then she said, this is what she said that really caught me off guard. She was like, I see what you've been doing in your gaming. I'm so proud of you.
She watching.
I'm like, I looked at her like this. I'm like, thank you? I haven't talked to you in 6 years.
Because of that?
Yeah, like,
It's funny how people...
it's literally so funny because you were literally telling me 6 years ago that I wasn't going to be shit from, I don't know if I can curse, but I wasn't going to be shit from video games. Now I'm like, I'm living what I want to do now. Now I'm on the right path that I want to do. Now I'm giving back to the community that I want to give back.
That's what they say. They say the line between delusion and basically it's like the line between a dreamer and someone who's doing it is success. So you're going to look crazy until you're successful, you know?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of people fall in that line of they want to support you when the success is
What's
after.
that quote? It's like first they laugh at you, then they hate you, then they...
No, you got it mixed up. It was... Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm high, hoes all on me. I'm sorry, but that's really what it is, right? Yo, go ahead.
No, it's
I
true.
throw that one in there, though, man. Throw that one in there, man. Like, that was it. Mike Jones.
That was a hot track.
Mike Jones figured it out.
He did.
He said, man, before the ice...
You know about Mike Jones, that's hard.
He said, before the ice was in my grill, before I had a major deal.
Mike Jones, yes sir.
These hoes ain't give a damn if I was here. Chill.
I'm playing it in my head. I'm like,
Yes, bro. And he double-timed it back, just so if you missed it,
yeah,
he double-timed it out.
yeah.
Like, that's really it.
No, but that's it, man. First, people are just like literally. I forget. It's first they laugh at what you're doing, and then maybe you start to get a little success. Then they hate on it because you're trying. You know what I mean? Then it's like, then I forget. Then
you blow up, and now they on you.
Then it's like then there's one more in between. Then the last one is like then they become a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
You know,
it was crazy, man. That caught me off guard, man. Like I was like, oh, okay, sure. But yeah, that moment was just like that was insane. But family-wise, my grandma, when I tell you that woman supports anything I do, but like that right there, she's like, I want you to go hard. I want you to do this. I remember this year I started commentary for like one of the events. Sent her the video, woman's bawling her eyes out. And I'm just like, oh man. It feels good too. It feels good too. Yeah. That knowing that I can make my parents proud like that. So
of course.
It's cool to have support. Even with friends, dude, like, you know, this year, I mean, dude, honestly, you're like, you know, I've had good friends growing up, but I'm saying you're like you're like the only friend that I have now. Not the only, I have like, you know, two other friends. Shout out to Mike and my boy Bennett is like that too. Like, truly, like just supportive of like your boy. Like, you know what I mean? It's rare to see that when like you have a friend that's doing some shit and like you'll like share content or like repost this or like, yo, I see you do this. Like,
I think it's hard, man, because it has to be in you. It can't be forced. Yeah. Like I got a close 6, you know. Now SJ coming in here, you know, I'm getting more friends, closer friends, and it's just you really got to have it in you, you know, because hate don't come from above. So if I really see, like, because Jeff and I talk about it all the time, where we're posting this stuff. It's not like people from around here. I got 1,800 on my Instagram, Facebook between the with the two, and those are all people that know me that you would call your circle. It's not like I got 18, and I'm granted there's a thing with visibility and algorithm and how things work, but when people do see it and views don't match comments, don't match likes, it just kind of goes to show you it's just not in you. Because when I see my boys and they're posting and they're doing stuff on there, dude, I can't wait to like and I can't wait to comment. All right, so like I was saying before we got so rudely interrupted, but giving it over to God, that's what you were describing, Neshe, when it comes to that action. God doesn't help people who don't help themselves. Very true. It's like, it's a fine line of you doing all the work and doing it without God. It's like the worst thing you could do is try to change without God. It's just not going to work. You're not going to be able to change. You're not going to fully be able to dive into that desire, that purpose that has been specifically made for you. But in order to do that, you got to put into work to give over those things that you've been holding on to that are basically anchors in your life.
Just letting go, man.
Letting go.
Letting go of everything, man. I feel like that's what I had to do too. I had to let go of everything. Let go of everything that has like happened to me in the past. Like all the bullying, all the loneliness, all the terrible things that have happened to me. And even now, like I'm still letting go of every single thing happening. I think what kind of helps me and keeps me going is how busy that I am as well too, as a person. Like keeping busy as like a man, like chasing your dreams, it plays a part of your good mental health, like of your good mental health. Like it plays a huge part. If you're always, no, you're fine. I would say if you're always busy, what are you constantly thinking about if you're always busy?
Exactly.
What you're doing right now. You're constantly thinking about the things that are in front of you right now. You're not going to constantly be thinking about the things that have happened to you. You're going to constantly be thinking about things that are happening right now, the things that you want in your future. Okay, I'm doing this so I can get here. Now when I get there, I can get there. When they're here, I'm over here now.
I heard recently an idle mind is a depressed mind. Like when you're just not doing it, like when you're, just idling, you're not doing shit, you're not moving, you're not focusing on anything. You start to overthink and you're like, what am I doing? That's why it's good, you know what I mean? For me, dude, I personally have felt like over the years, like I have felt the most, I don't want to say like the most like happy. I don't know if like happy is the right word, but I have felt like the most, like, I don't know, almost on like a physiological, like on like a chemical hormone level. I feel like everything is at like the highest and I feel the best when like we're working on something, like, you know what I mean? Like I'll feel great like after this, we filmed another episode, I feel accomplished. You feel like you're progressing, like that's when I feel the best, like when I feel like I'm just moving in like the grand trajectory of like improving in life. When I feel like I'm just like, even if it's like a slow incline, if I feel like I'm just like in pursuit of something, is when I feel like the best.
All that is motivation. Like all that you're saying is just motivation. Like that's like you're just motivated just to do even more because you've been so busy and so.
Yeah, but it does go. I go, but I'm saying like it's tough, like because it does go like everybody. I'm sure it goes up, and then I'm like I'll have like a day where I'm just like like I don't feel like doing nothing, like da da da, and then like the next day I'm be like, all right, cool, like we shot this episode, like I posted this reel, I'm getting better at cutting hair. I'm stacking a little bit more money. I'm in a little bit better shape. You know what I mean? So it's like then I start to feel like, all right,
so
cool.
true, man. It's like God says that the battle is it's in the mind. It's nowhere else. Like you're describing. I'm listening to you, and I'm like, to me, and my brain is saying that's conditional happiness, and there's nothing wrong with conditional happiness. But when conditional happiness goes, the next day's over. What are you left with? And that's where God comes in with joy. Your relationship with God brings you joy. You wake up with hope. You wake up with gratitude. You wake up with purpose. And that is enough to always knock you through a bad day because you don't got time to dwell on a bad day when you're focused on your relationship with God and you're locked in with your purpose and you're pursuing it actively. You don't got time to have a day off because if you take that time to focus on the negative, it's going to take time away from, it's an opportunity cost. You can't focus on the negative when you got stuff to do. Like you said, idle hands, devil's playground. When you're not progressing, you're just going backwards because you're not moving forward. So when you're busy, you have no time to do any of that stuff. And I think that's all it. And then like how we all have those passions and desires that we're all working on. That's like just what fuels you.
Yeah, man. And I have multiple, like I said, like I like to model, manage an esports team. Like I like to keep myself busy, and then I work 6-7 days a week. So I'm constantly thinking about my future. I'm constantly thinking about what's next for me. Like constantly. Like, and it's so funny though, because it's like, you guys see me, tall, handsome man, okay? Work a nice job, have all these passions. I get asked all the time, you single, relationship, all that other stuff. And man, it's just like, dude, I don't got the time, man. As much as I want to, and how much I love, and how much of a lover boy that I am, and how much I love to do the dating stuff, and how, I want kids, I want a wife, I want a family, I want all that in the future. But I think at this point in my life where I'm at right now, I can't do that unless I have myself where I want to be at my life.
I love that you said that because what's that?
You guys have to say that?
Well, I was gonna say, I do, because
Dude says the same.
Well, I do, and I love that you said that, man, because I personally feel that, like, I feel just like that. And a lot of times, people, I'm not saying everybody, I'm saying a lot of times that I've encountered, some people don't understand that. Like, I get asked too, you know, I'm in like the beauty industry. I work at a hair salon. Like, I'm around girls, I'm around women, you know, and always it's like, you don't have a, how do you not, you don't have a girlfriend? Like, how do you not have a, and I say, you know, I'm not trying to sound like vain about it. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm just being genuine. Like, it's like, oh, how do you not have a girlfriend? Like, oh, I'm sure you have no problem. Like, wow, you're single? Why do you don't want, and I'm like, and I say that, it's not because, I don't have a girlfriend. It's not because like I'm trying to like be this playboy and like, you know, skirt around like multiple, you know what I mean? Like, it's just because I'm just not where I want to be.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe it's just from like when a girl hears that, maybe it's hard from a girl's perspective to hear that, and maybe a man's perspective, another man can understand.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's like you get to a point. It's like that mindset shift you talk about. You get to a certain point in your life where it's like the girl, the relationship, the love, the kids, like that genuine connection is all great, but it's like the cherry on top of like a Sunday that you've built your life of. Like, you know what I mean? You got to be. And again, I know you're different. Like, I'm not saying that everybody's like that.
No, it was actually the same way,
mean?
man. That's what I had. I had the
like,
same thing.
You know what I'm trying?
Yeah, I
just
had
feel
the
like,
same thing. What you're describing is your road to marriage. That's what you're describing, because you're letting go of all the stuff they used to do, the meaningless hookups, the wasted time going out, the pursuing endless relationships, to sacrifice to work on yourself to be in a better place, because then when you're in that place, you're ready.
Yeah, I feel like you just understand. This is in my personal opinion, I feel like as I personally have gotten older, and maybe I don't know if it's like this for everybody or every guy, I'm sure it's not, but like for me, I've gotten to the point in age where I realized to like the certain type of relationship I feel like I would like to have and conduct to be successful in that, I need to be at a certain point for myself to even enjoy, I feel like, having a partner or slash.
You know what it is.
Does that make sense?
No.
It makes sense.
You know what it is too. Well, I understand what you're saying. We're three men, and I can really speak for all three of us and say is that, you know, I can literally tell that natural born providers. I think with men, like especially today's, like, you know, with my generation, maybe with not with y'all's generation, but with me, how I see it, I'm more traditional. And that's why I feel like, you know, people say I'm a little hiatus on this, but I don't consider myself a part of my generation because of how I think and how I want my household, how I want things to be more traditional. I'm more of a traditional man. I like to naturally provide. I want to be a natural provider for my, you know, wife, kids. I want to make sure everything is good. I want to have a house under my name. I want to have everything. And I can't do that. I can't enjoy my life, my marriage, my kids, my family, if I don't have those things first that comes with providing from a man. And once I don't have those things yet, what am I doing? Like, for me, if I don't have those things, what am I doing inside the relationship?
That's how I feel. Yeah,
that's what I'm doing.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, well, I know.
And I'm not saying that, like, you know, looking back, when I was your age, looking back 10, 11, 12 years ago, you know, looking back on people that I have dated, could I probably have stayed with a few people and I probably could have built and they were the right person, but I'm saying now it's hard to just be like, oh yeah, I'm going to date this person when, like, I'm just, dude, I have so much, you know what I mean? It's like, I got to make some more bread. I want to build the Instagram, the podcast. I want to get a new car. I want to live better. I want new, you know what I mean? It's like, how am I supposed to do all that and balance that? Like, and you know what I mean?
I'll tell you this just because I'm there.
I'm just saying.
I did it.
That's just how I think.
I thought the same way, man. I've talked about this before, where I wanted to have my life figured out by 30. And before that, I think I wanted it figured out by 22. I wanted to be a millionaire by 22. And it made it sounded all good. And I think all that is great because it keeps you in the right direction. But I always say, and I told Jess this 1,000 times, leave in your that's for sure, but leave in your heart an area for surprise, because you just never know the timing. You know, yeah, I was ready to marry my wife out of desperation, but I didn't know when it was gonna come. But I knew if I prayed for it and I asked for it, God would answer it. Whether I was and I knew if He gave it to me, I'd be ready for it. Granted, man, I didn't have a house. I was low on my account. I was not happy with what I was doing. I was dabbling in just like a little bit of everything, not taking anything really serious except my 9 to 5. So, and then everything came because it was one of the big reasons why I wanted to get married so bad, because the single life was such a big distraction and it was going to leave me in a bad place. So I knew, man, if I need to get anywhere, I need to get out of here first, leave room for God to answer what I need. Because that's the only thing I would say is leave room for surprise, because you never know when it might happen. You may be where you want, you may not be.
Can I ask you a question? Did your wife motivate you at that time?
Oh, at that time, yeah, maybe. And as I look back at it now, what she said, answering God's prayer right to me, motivated me.
Okay, yeah.
And then, yeah, ever since then, man, she's been like, besides my mom, like biggest fan. Biggest supporter.
It is too, man. Like, I want to touch on that too. Like, there's two types of like men who come from like success. Like, it's the ones who pull themselves up, and the one who has the woman to support them. Like, and I genuinely like believe this. The right woman will change any man. The right woman will change any man, 1,000%. No matter where that man came from, if it was good or bad. She's going to change them for the better, always. The right woman will change their man for the better, always. And you cannot take those women for granted. And God bless you that you didn't take that for granted. Like, for real, dude, man. God bless that you didn't take that for granted.
And I would be in such a bad place because I saw how I was picking them, and it was not working. It was not working. I was blessed to have some great girlfriends. I did. But they weren't the right ones. You know, when God showed me Morgan, I mean, it was no question. But it easily could have went a different way.
I mean, dude, she's in full support of like, I don't know, like, I'm not saying I'm not saying there aren't many, but I personally don't know many people that like are able to like fully pursue, like, you know, we're out here on a Sunday night. Like,
yeah.
You have a wife and kid.
Yeah. And
like, we're out here with the cameras pursuing like a side hustle.
Yeah.
And she's in full support of it.
Full support.
You don't get like nagged. You don't get like, she's, you know, she buys you equipment. Like she's, you know, like when you're doing the music thing, I'll never forget. I think it was like probably a year or two ago, we were on the deck and we were like doing the beats and doing the music kind of heavy. And we were all talking and she was talking to I forget who was over. And she was like, you know, talking about like your favorite artists, like talking about like musicians and like music that was out. And she was like, somebody asked her who her favorite artist was, and she was like, my favorite artist, and she was like, well, obviously, like, my first favorite artist is Travis. Like, and I'm like, yo, like, I just thought that was dope.
Good guy makes you feel.
I'll never forget that, honestly.
And at that
We were
time,
outside.
I'm making some sub.
But you weren't even around. Like, you were, like, down off the deck.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, she didn't have to say that. Like, she was just like, yo, like, my favorite artist is, like, Travis, obviously. Like,
Man, shout out to
and it was just cool how she said, and I just, I remember she said that, and I was like, yo, like, that's, like, some shit. Like, she's just being genuine, like, and she's, like, she's just your fan.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
You can't trade like that stuff anyway, dude. That stuff, like, you just can't trade in for nothing, dude. And I tell any man that, like, that type of woman, you can't trade anything. God bless you, Travis.
Man, God did bless me. God did bless me. I'm blessed every day, man. It's amazing. This was a blessing right here.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna help so many people.
Are we, what are we on time? Are we about to close it?
I'd say we should, because it's getting late, but it's getting a lot.
I'm with that, but I just want to say, okay, so dude, Dreams and Day Jobs is the name of this podcast, right? So like to close this out, like coming from somebody who's working the 9 to 5 after their dream, trying to like get out of the 9 to 5 and like and do their thing and kind of pursue their passion, like what would you tell people watching this that are maybe in that position, like, you know, that are working a 9 to 5, like, and maybe just feeling like unmotivated and like down, and you know, like, what do you think you would say to like?
Oh man, I'm gonna let the camera talk to you guys. Like, dude, don't stop. Don't ever. If you feel like quitting, never quit. If you feel like you're doubting yourself, don't doubt yourself. If you feel like you're lost, talk to God and He will guide you into the right place. But the thing is with this, once you talk to God, you need to talk to yourself as well too. There is no helping yourself without yourself. God cannot be the only person that helps you. You need to help yourself as well. And that's taking action. If it's physical action, mental action, financial action, everything. Just don't stop on your dreams though. see the light. Because once you have a formula and once you have a plan, you're going to ride that wave. You're going to feel the motivation. And once you see every single piece come together, what's not stopping you?
That's what's up, man.
What's not stopping you?
Yo, you guys heard it.
Where could they find you?
You can find me on Instagram. My Instagram is shelove_lant. That's SHELUV_lant, LONT, man.
That's what's up, man. Well, yo, thank you so much for coming on, man. You got anything else you wanna
No,
close
that
out
was
with?
I just want to put a period at his sentence right there. That was awesome.
That's what's up, man.
Seriously,
That's dope, man.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
coming
much,
on,
brother.
For real.
Ah,
yeah.
thank you so much, bro. That was amazing.
That was amazing. I appreciate you guys having me. That was awesome, man.
Yeah.
That was absolutely awesome.
Yeah, dude. That's what's up.